as far as the game is concerned. Disappointed, disappointed, but encouraged. All right, highly encouraged. And I say that because when you watch the tape, you see a group of men. They came out very excited, probably overly excited, and some of the responsibilities kind of went out the window. And a lot of our young guys, even some of our vets, I think going to second game, those jitters will be more calm, and we get back to just doing our responsibility and doing our job. And it pops out over the tape. But man, you have to appreciate the want to, but sometimes that want to can take you out of doing what you're supposed to do as far as your job is concerned. You can get a little ahead of yourself. So, but I'm serious about it. I mean, highly encouraged by some of the things that happened in that game.
I'm curious, Darren, the problems defending the run and just defending in general, but especially against the run, how much of that is a concern for you going forward that could be replicated by other teams, and how much of that is just Jalen Hurts is a unique guy?
Man, he is a unique guy. He really is. And when you go back and you watch the tape, and as far as the run game is concerned, a number of that was these third down runs where, man, we had Jalen Hurts corralled, and he just made a move, and he made guys miss. I mean, you see the one that happened on Commish. You see the one that happened on Aiden. You see the one he almost got away with Juju Hughes. That guy's tough to defend now. He really is, because of his ability to be able to do that. Man, you could have him corralled, and he still has a way of getting loose and making plays. And then you take a look at some of the other runs where, man, you have him stop cold, and you have him in your grasp. And I'm not just talking about Jalen, I'm talking about the running back too, man. Then he escapes for 20-yard runs. So those are things that we got to be better at, and those are things we got to clean up. And the guys, when they see it, when they saw it, they're like, I just got to wrap up and make that play. Yeah, so those things showed up quite a bit. And I would say that's why I'm encouraged, because as far as being where you're supposed to be on those situations, they were there. Man, it's just finishing plays. That's what we have to be able to do. And this game is about finishing.
You're talking about the 25-yard run.
Absolutely. That was one of them.
Yeah.
That was one. We had that, and we had another second down play where he was bottled up, and we fall down, and boom, he squirts out for another 20-yard run. So if you look at those runs, you might have a ton of runs that go for 3, 2, 1, then boom, you have a 20-yarder, right? That happened twice, which is really a lot of yards that he had. I'm talking about the running back, for example.
What encouraged you about Aiden's play, and what is the point of emphasis for him to do better at, this week? That one thing that he can really
I will tell you the first play of the game, which is, he was after the quarterback when he had zone read rules. We should have just surfed, right? But he saw the opening, and he took off going. Well, he's just supposed to surf on that, all right? And he knows that, right? The thing is, man, when you get that guy going, excited, now he's ready to go. And again, that was first game jitters, all right? So, and then he saw opening, man, I'm going to go make the play. And that's who Aiden is, all right? And those are some of the things that we like about it, a lot of things that we like about him. I think you will see him way more calmer. You see a guy that's going to do the things that Aiden has done all through camp. And I would say I'm not worried about that player, not one bit. All right, and listen, every player is going to do that, because sometimes you want players to go make plays, all right, and sometimes you go out of character to do that every now and then. Now, you can't have that consistently, all right, but that's a player I'm not worried about, not one bit.
pass rush, or not just him, but your pass rush in general.
Yeah.
Different style quarterback this week. Is it how much easier will it be to get pressure? I'm not saying it's going to be easy, but just based on the style of play that.
Yeah. Well, I think AB said it already. He like a statue, which lets anybody. But listen, I have total confidence in Charles. I have total confidence in Aiden. Have total confidence in Aleem that those guys are going to create havoc and go make plays. So each week I go in with the mentality that our guys are going to make plays. We just have to know exactly who we're playing against. And if you look at what happened with Jalen, we had him corralled. We just didn't finish. And I think those guys will go out and finish this week.
Different test this week with Washington, just from a passing perspective. It looks like the addition of Dotson and obviously getting Curtis back, and Terry's been an issue for a while now. They do a good job of kind of moving your eyes, and they've got ways they can spread the ball all around. Just how tough of a test is their passing game going to be for you guys this week?
Here's what I have noticed about this league going forward, that every week is a tough week. Every week, teams have these skilled players that can do a number of things. And this is a team that has McLaurin as far as the receiver position, Dotson, then Curtis Samuel, who I'm familiar with from being in Carolina. And then I think this back, Gibson's a pretty good player. So they do have weapons that we have to get ready to. But that's every week, you know. So our cover guys, when we get a chance to double those guys, we got to win. But when you're in one-on-one, you have to get a chance to win too, you know. So each week, as far as us as coaches, we got to make sure we have a plan for those guys to be able to go out there and be successful.
To worry about with your young guys, obviously, but your two veteran leaders, Anzalone and Walker, both committed penalties that were, bad decisions.
Yeah.
And so, what is your coaching point with veterans like that are supposed to be leading by example?
The one thing that I will say is something that we preach all the time, that's being disciplined. And they will be the first to tell you that was a bad decision by those guys. But I will also, credit that to being just overly anxious, right? The jitters I was saying, and that can happen, right, during the game as we were playing. And Anzalone knows, man, I'm going to try to just get a hit on the quarterback, but you can't lower your head. Now these quarterbacks are sliding because they're trying to protect them, right? Tracy's got to know when once he slide, I can't go into the quarterback like that. And that's a learning experience for all those guys because they really want to get hits on these guys, right? Because we stress physicality, and we want to be that, but it has to be directed the right way, right? Now guys have to understand that.
You guys talk a lot about complimentary football, obviously.
Yeah.
You got the stop early, the turnover on downs, forced a few punts late in the fourth, but I think only one time the offense started to drive on the other side of your own 30. How much of an emphasis is setting up shorter fields to?
Listen here, we play defense. So to us, it doesn't matter where they're at. Our job is to go stop them, and we got to do a better job at that. You know, so whatever the situation is that happens in the game, man, I tell our guys, anytime we're on the field, that's more TV time for us, right? And that's how our guys look at it.
What you see on the tape from Jeff Okudah?
You saw a guy that really challenged. You saw a guy that really improved. You saw a guy that's building confidence. And this will be another week, all right, for him to build his confidence. Excited about that player, excited what he did. But, man, it doesn't stop here. And you got to continue to keep stacking, like, games like this. Because I tell you what, he challenged now, and you saw it. And then he had the PI. I will accept that. You know, and the reason why I'm accepting it, because he was challenging in that play. You know, so it wasn't a PI where he was reaching and grabbing and things like that, man. He was trying to defend this guy to the very last second of that play. And some of those, man, it comes with the territory of being a DB.
I'm just wondering what stood out in film from Malcolm Rodriguez's play, and then maybe one thing that is a coaching point of emphasis for next week.
It's very physical, very fast, really have an understanding of the game. And then you just try to continue to get him looks as far as NFL football is concerned. Of sometimes, man, like these old linemen or these quarterbacks, they're going to try to do things now since they know how you play because you're a fast reactor. They're going to try to do things to get your eyes. And that goes to what you were saying with this team. A lot of eye candy. All right, a lot of eye candy to just run simple plays. You know, just motion here, turbo motion there, then they run outside zone. You know, so he's a guy that I can see them trying to attack in that way. But that's something that we talk about to him about all the time. And he's smart enough to understand that and be able to grasp that.
Dan said he had no missed assignments. I'm just curious how unique that is, if it is unique for a rookie first-time starter to have.
It is, especially at that position. Especially at that position. And over training camp, as a coach, you really don't want to get into his mindset, but you kind of expect that out of him because how smart he is and things that he's shown. But we do have to realize, man, he's a rookie. You know, and mistakes are going to happen, and that's with anybody. All right, so we don't want to put that label on him as far as how this guy's not going to make mistakes at all. But you expect those mistakes to be minimal because of who he is and what he's shown.
Rotational defensive tackle sometimes blends into the background when you're watching a game, but Isaiah Buggs definitely popped out with his play
Oh, yeah.
and his energy. So,
Oh, yeah.
what have you found maybe in him?
Here's the thing about Bugs that's intriguing, because you hear all these things of when he was at Alabama, when he was at Pittsburgh, and like we haven't seen those things. One thing about Bugs is I get a text from Bugs almost every day about how he loves it here. I mean, you like when players say that. And listen, I don't know what happened at those other places, and I really don't care. The only thing I care about is he's happy here, and he's given us everything that he got. And you're right, he did pop out on the tape. So we expect that player to be a huge part of what we're doing as far as going forward. And man, it's something to see him and Mac in the game at the same time. That's a lot of beef on the interior now.
He pushed Brockers for a starting job because Brockers, I mean, we all know he's a good vet, but
Yeah.
he hasn't had much production during the course of his time in Detroit.
Yeah, I would say this about the D-line is, man, there is so much rotation that's going on that those guys get to play in the same amount of plays. You know, one guy might start the game, right? But and I've said this about the linebackers before, but all of those guys are going to play. That's a position to where it's not like corner or safety where you got a rock that's there. D-lineman, you're going to always have rotations. So can he push him? Everybody's pushing everybody, you know, every week, right? But as far as D-line, all those guys are going to get a chance to play.
Just a quick follow-up, what percentage disappointed, what percentage encouraged?
Say it again?
You said when you opened, you were disappointed and encouraged.
Yeah, disappointed we didn't win.
Yeah, would you describe any percentages?
Nah, I really haven't looked at it like that. Just mad that we didn't win, but encouraged at some of the things that I saw on tape.
Maybe sneak one last one in about that win. I know Dan has focused on saying just doing things the right way, improving a little bit, and then
Yeah.
that'll lead to wins. But
No
I
doubt.
mean, the math in the NFL sort of checks out. Teams were 0-2 last year. There were 7. None of them made the playoffs since 1990. I think 12% have made
Hold on,
the
say that
playoffs.
one more time.
Since 1990, teams who
Okay.
have started 0-2, only 12% have made the playoffs. So while trying to do things the right way, I mean, how much do you guys know those things and know? I don't know if you like the phrase "must win" or not, but does it feel like that?
Listen, we coach every week to win. So to me, every game is a must win. And I don't know if that's the right way or wrong way, but that's how I coach and that's how I look at it. And as far as the stats concerned, I think in '98, with the Jets, we started 0-2, ended up going 13-3. So regardless of how you just got to keep on chopping wood. And I actually been a part of that twice. So I don't know if I guess we're on the other side of that stat that you're talking about. Win, play football. Play football. Man, this game here, man, you never know. Each week, you just got to keep chopping wood.